भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की, हरिनाम संकीर्तन की, निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. The lotus feet of our spiritual master are the only way by which we can attain pure devotional service. We bow down to his lotus feet with great awe and reverence. By his grace, one can cross over the ocean of material sufferings and obtain the mercy of Krishna. My only wish is to have my consciousness purified by the words emanating from his lotus mouth. Attachment to his lotus feet is a perfection that fulfills all desires. He opens my darkened eyes and fills my heart with transcendental knowledge. He is my Lord, birth after birth. From him ecstatic prema emanates, by him ignorance is destroyed. The Vedic scriptures sing of his character. Our spiritual master is the ocean of mercy, the friend of the poor and Lord and the master of devotees. O Master, please be merciful unto us and give us the shade of your lotus feet. Your fame is spread all over the 3 worlds. We take shelter of your lotus feet. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
First class. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Jai Jai Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Sodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yasodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jamuna Tira Havana Chari Jamuna Tira
বাংলা ক্লাস গুরু মহারাজের রুম হচ্ছে বাংলা ক্লাস বাংলা ক্লাস গুরু মহারাজের রুমে
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Gopi Janavallabha Giri Varadhari Hey Hare Gopijanna Vallabha
Hare
Shri Hare Hare Sodanandana Gajajanahanja Yasodanandana Gajajanahanja Jamuna Tira Chari Hey Krishna Jamuna Tira Chari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madnamoha Radha Madnamoha Shri Radhe Jai Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Shri Radhe Jai Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Shri Radhe Shri Shri Radha Gopinatha Radha Gopinatha Shri Radhe Jai Radha Gokulananda Radha Gokulananda Shri Radhe Jai Radha Damodar Radha Damodar Shri Radhe Jai Radha Sham Sundar Radha Sham Sundar Shri Radhe Hey Jai Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Giri Govardhan Jai Giri Govardhan Jai Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jai Krishna Balaram Jai Jagannath Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Hey Jagannath Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Prahlad Nrsimha Prahlad Nrsimha Jaya Prahlad Nrsimha Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Yeah Gauranga Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Gauranga Hey Gauranga Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaur Hari Bol Hey Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jai Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Bhakti Charu Swami Maharaj. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Bhakti Prem Maharaj K. Srila Prabhupada K. Samaveda Bhaktivinda K. Sri Hari Nam Shankirtan K. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Mahakal Ki. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 14, Brahma's prayers to Lord Krishna. This is text number 13. Jagatrayanto dadi samplavode Narayanaya Sodara Nabinalat Vinirgato Jastu Iti Vannavaimrisam Kintwishvaratvam na vinirgatosmi Jagatrayanto dadi samplavode Narayana Syodarana Vinalat Vinirgato Jastviti Vannavaimrisa Kintwisvaratvam na vinirgatosmi Jagatrayanto dadi samplavode Narayana Shodari Nabinalat Vinirgato Jastviti Vannavaimrisa Kintwisvaratvam na vinirgatosmi Too hot. Ladies. Anyone else? Jagat Traya. Of the three worlds. Anta. In the dissolution. Udadi. Of all the oceans. Samplava. Of the total deluge. Uday. In the water. Narayanasya. Of the person, of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Narayan. Udara. Growing from the abdomen. Nabi. From the navel. Nalat. Out of the lotus stem. Vinirgata. Came out. Aja. Brahma. Two. Indeed. Iti. Thus speaking. Bak. The words. Na. Are not. Vai. Certainly. Mrisa. False. Kintu. Thus. Ishvara. O Lord. Twat. From you. Na. Not. Vinirgata. Specifically emanated. Asmi. I am. So these are prayers by Lord Brahma after he had committed a offense to the Supreme Lord by trying to show his power as being superior to the Lord by tricking the Lord, but ultimately he was tricked. Translation. My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Narayan, lies down on the water. Gradually a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon that lotus flower. Certainly these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you?
हे प्रभु, ऐसा कहा जाता है कि जब प्रलय के समय तीनों लोग जलमग्न हो जाते हैं तो आपके अंश नारायण जल में लेट जाते हैं। उनकी नाभि से एक कमल का फूल निकलता है और उस फूल से ब्रह्मा का जन्म होता है। अवश्य ही ये वचन झूठे नहीं, तो क्या मैं आपसे उत्पन्न नहीं हूँ?
Purport. Although every living being is a child of God, Lord Brahma here makes a special claim because he takes his birth on a lotus flower that emanates from the navel of Narayan, the personality of Godhead. Ultimately, all living beings are equally expansions of the transcendental body of the Supreme Lord. But Brahma has an intimate relationship with the Lord because of his activities of universal creation. And so he uses the prefix "be" in the word vinirgata to beg the Lord's special mercy. Lord Brahma is called Aja because he is not born from any mother, but rather emanates directly from the Lord's body. As Srila Prabhupada states in Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, it is naturally concluded that the mother of Brahma is Narayan. On these grounds, Lord Brahma is requesting special forgiveness for his offenses.
यद्यपि सारे जीव ईश्वर की संतान हैं, किंतु ब्रह्मा जी यहाँ पर विशेष दावा करते हैं क्योंकि उनका जन्म भगवान नारायण की नाभि से निकले कमल के फूल से हुआ। अंततोगत्वा विशेष दया की याचना करते हुए विनर्गत शब्द के साथ भी उपसर्ग लगाते हैं। ब्रह्मा जी आज कहलाते हैं क्योंकि वे कभी माता से उत्पन्न न होकर सीधे भगवान के शरीर से उत्पन्न हुए हैं। जैसा कि श्री प्रभुपाद जी ने भगवान श्री कृष्ण में लिखा है, इससे यही निष्कर्ष निकलता है कि नारायण ही ब्रह्मा की माता। इन्हीं कारणों से ब्रह्मा जी अपने अपराधों के लिए विशेष समायाचना करते हैं।
Om Agyan Timidandasya Ganajana Salakaya Chaksu Unmilitam Nena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimakti Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Pastyatya Desatarine Vanchakalpa Tarubhischa Kripa Sindhu Bhaja Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namaho Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Aham bija pradapita. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that I am the seed giver father of all living entities. He's the source of everything, as he mentions in the Bhagavad Gita, that everything comes from me. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matar savam papartante iti matvam bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Everything spiritual and material comes from me. But the living entities, especially, they come directly from the body of the Lord. And Brahma, he has a certain relationship which is unique. Krishna spoke to him within the heart. Tene Brahma Yidai Adikavaye. The Lord spoke to him the knowledge by which he could do his devotional service, which means bring about the next creation. So Brahma is unique in his relationship, although all living entities are parts and parcel of Krishna.
ब्रह्मा जी का भी भगवान से विशेष संबंध है, जो कि और हम भगवान के अंश के अंश हैं.
And Krishna's relationship, he mentions in the Bhagavad Gita.
और कृष्ण ने भगवद गीता में अपने संबंध को बताया है.
Samoham sarvabhuteshu name dvaisastina priya. I am equal to everyone. I envy no one. I am not partial to anyone. He looks like he is partial. When we look around, we see discrepancies, we see dichotomies, we see differences. But he's not partial.
भगवद गीता में भगवान ने बताया समोहम सर्वभूतेषु नमोदेशस्तिना प्रिया. बाहर रूप से दिखते हैं कि भगवान पक्षपात करते हैं, लेकिन वास्तव में वो इस प्रकार से पक्षपात नहीं करते.
But Brahma is special in the sense that he was born directly from the lotus-like navel of the Lord.
ब्रह्मा जी विशेष स्थिति है क्योंकि वो भगवान के नाभि कमल से उत्पन्न हुए.
And Krishna empowered him to do the work of creation. So we say Lord Brahma actually is the creator. He gets his creating power from Krishna, who is the original source of creation. He has a big post. He has some big service too.
और उनकी बहुत बड़ी सेवा है,
Not ordinary service.
ये एक सामान्य सेवा नहीं।
He has to create the bodies of the living entities
और उन्हें जीवात्माओं के शरीर का निर्माण करना है
from the ingredients given to him by the Supreme Lord.
भगवान के द्वारा दिए गए अवयव तत्वों के माध्यम से उन्हें जीव के शरीर का निर्माण करना है
And the knowledge given to him by the Lord.
और भगवान के द्वारा उनको ज्ञान भी प्रदान किया है।
So you might say he's a special child of the Lord.
और इस प्रकार से वो भगवान के विशेष पुत्र है
And he's thinking in that way also in this particular expression.
और यहाँ पर वो विशेष रूप से बता भी रहे हैं।
Jai Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan Lalita Vishaka Ki Jai. And he's thinking he's a little bit special.
और वो यहाँ पर सोच भी रहे हैं कि वो कुछ विशेष हैं।
So he thinks that, but still I committed an offense.
अगर वो ये भी सोच रहे हैं कि मैंने यहाँ पर गलती भी की है
And I know you're merciful.
और इसलिए मुझे कृपा की आवश्यकता है
Although I committed offense, I know you will forgive me.
और मैंने अपराध किया है तो मुझे पता है कि आप मुझे क्षमा कर देंगे।
But he still, even though he knows the Lord is very merciful and will forgive him of his offenses, still he's begging for forgiveness.
वो जानते हैं कि भगवान बहुत कृपालु हैं, क्षमा कर देते हैं, फिर भी वो इसकी क्षमा याचना कर रहे हैं।
This is a very essential principle in Vaishnava culture, Vaishnava etiquette.
और वैष्णव सदाचार में एक बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सिद्धांत है ये।
If there's any offense, one should make amends by asking forgiveness.
यदि कोई अपराध करता है तो उसको क्षमा याचना करके माफी मांगना।
One should not assume that the person I offended is very merciful, therefore I don't have to ask.
हमें ये सोचना नहीं चाहिए इस प्रकार से कि जिस व्यक्ति के प्रति हमने अपराध किया है वो कृपालु है, इसलिए हमें क्षमा मांगने की आवश्यकता नहीं।
Because Krishna becomes offended when we offend his devotees.
और जब इस प्रकार हम भक्तों के प्रति अपराध करते हैं तो भगवान उस अपराध को ले लेते हैं।
So although the devotee may be very merciful and not even take offense, what to speak about accepting forgiveness, still Krishna is there. Therefore, still one has to make the proper behavior in order to relieve oneself of the effects of that offense.
क्योंकि भक्त को अपराध लेते नहीं है लेकिन भगवान अपराध को लेते हैं, इसलिए भक्तों से आदान प्रदान में हमें बहुत सावधानी रखनी चाहिए।
Begging forgiveness.
क्षमा याचना करनी चाहिए।
Even when we do service,
जब भी हम सेवा करते हैं
we should never think my service is so perfect.
और हर सेवा पूर्ण नहीं होती,
Therefore, I know Krishna will accept it.
इसीलिए कृष्ण को
I know my spiritual master will be pleased.
और कृष्ण स्वीकार करते हैं और गुरु महाराज प्रसन्न होते हैं।
We should always think it's not good enough.
पर हमें सोचना चाहिए कि यह सेवा पर्याप्त नहीं है।
If I was a little bit more attentive, a little bit more creative, I might have been able to do it even nicer, with even more attention and devotion.
और सेवा के दौरान हमें सोचना चाहिए कि शायद मैं और अच्छे से ध्यानपूर्वक उसको करता तो और अच्छे से होता।
Just like when we do kirtan,
जैसे कि जब हम कीर्तन करते हैं
sometimes we have kirtan melas. We chant for many days in a row.
कभी-कभी कीर्तन मेला का आयोजन होता है, कई दिनों तक कीर्तन करते हैं।
So we do adivas the night before.
तो एक दिन पूर्व उसके रात्रि में हम अधिवास करते हैं।
And we prepare our consciousness for serving the Lord by offering kirtan as the offering to the Lord.
और भगवान को कीर्तन अर्पित करके हम अपनी चेतना को तैयार करते हैं।
And part of the adivas prayers is to beg forgiveness for any of the offenses that we will commit when we perform our service of kirtan.
अधिवास के दौरान हम भगवान से क्षमा याचना करते हैं कि हो सकता है प्रक्रिया के दौरान यदि हमसे कुछ गलतियां हो जाए तो उसके लिए क्षमा मांगते हैं।
And that's important. That keeps us humble. It keeps us never become proud or become self-assured that whatever we do is achahe, perfect. Just look how nicely I served. And And soon, if they don't devotees don't recognize it immediately, they will recognize it in due course of time.
हो सकता है कि अभी मुझे समझ नहीं पा रहे हैं, लेकिन समय बाद मुझे समझ पाएंगे.
So this attitude was the principle of false ego, which is not acceptable in offering anything to the Lord.
और ये मिथ्या अहंकार का ये सिद्धांत ये प्रतिनिधित्व करता है और ये ठीक नहीं.
So Brahma did so much wonderful service. I mean, what service Brahma did was just amazing. I mean, beyond anybody's ability even to understand, what to speak, to appreciate.
ब्रह्मा जी के द्वारा जो सेवा की गई वो विशेष है. इसको समझ पाना ही मुश्किल है. उसकी प्रशंसा करना बात है.
Brahma could have said, well, I've done so much service for you, Lord, and I helped the creation. I gave you a break so you didn't have to do it yourself.
तो ब्रह्मा जी ने बोला नहीं बोला कि भगवान मैंने आपके लिए बहुत सारी सेवा की है आपके लिए.
But he didn't. He was feeling somewhat unhappy because he had committed this offense to the Lord. But he knows the Lord is merciful. And at the end of this prayer, he says, after he begs for forgiveness and says that, my dear Lord, at the time of dissolution, everything's merged into you. You lie down, I come from your navel. Am I not your son? Am I not one of your dear sons? He's not assuming that everything is okay. This is the proper attitude of a devotee. Devotees always consider themselves fallen. Even if we do something wonderful, still it's not good enough. Or we might say, because of the grace of the mercy of the spiritual master and the association of devotees, it was by their mercy that something I did came out nice. And devotees shouldn't think, well, I did some nice service. Maybe I should get an extra maha, They're giving out all garlands. I should get the nicest garland. There's one story with Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati's sannyas disciple. This sannyas disciple, he was a preacher. He went out one evening to do preaching at a very big Pandal program. He gave such a powerful lecture. Everyone got up and they applauded his lecture for a long time. It was a standing ovation. Obviously, he did some wonderful service. He inspired everyone in Krishna consciousness. So when he came back to the ashram, he was thinking, I should get some special prasadam. Maybe some, I don't know, kachoris. I'm sure he didn't ask for pizza. So he wanted some special prasadam because he thought, I deserve it. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, he was informed of this request. He said, Maharaj responded, well, who does he think he is? Service is not business. I do something and then I get some reward for it.
सेवा कोई व्यापार नहीं है कि मैं इतना करूंगा तो मुझे इसके बदले में ये मिलेगा.
We should simply be satisfied with the service. That's all.
हमें केवल सेवा से ही संतुष्ट होना चाहिए.
The gopis' service to Krishna was so amazing that Krishna was overwhelmed by their love. All he could say was, I can't repay you. Your service itself is your payment. Be happy with that.
गोपियों का कृष्ण के प्रति इतना सेवा भाव था कि कृष्ण स्वयं बोले कि मैं आपकी सेवा भाव से ऋण से मुक्त नहीं हो सकता. आपकी सेवा ही पर्याप्त है, विशेष है.
So the devotees are always, they're happy just to do the service. They're not looking for anything in return for service.
तो भक्त जो हैं वो सेवा करके ही संतुष्ट और प्रसन्न होते हैं. उनको सेवा के बदले में और कुछ नहीं चाहिए होता है.
Because service connects one to Krishna, connects one to the process of pure devotional service.
क्योंकि सेवा है वो भक्त को भगवान से और शुद्ध भक्ति से जोड़ती है.
And simply by the service, a devotee feels, I don't need anything else, just give me service, that's all.
और सेवा प्राप्त करके भक्त सोचते हैं कि मुझे और कुछ आवश्यकता नहीं है, सेवा ही पर्याप्त है.
Prabhupada talks about himself.
प्रभुपाद जी अपने बारे में बताते हैं.
He said, I never asked anything from my spiritual master, but I did ask one thing. I asked, how can I serve you? That's all.
प्रभुपाद जी स्वयं बताते हैं कि मैंने अपने गुरुदेव से कभी कुछ नहीं मांगा. मैंने केवल एक ही बात पूछी कि मैं आपकी किस प्रकार सेवा कर सकता हूँ.
And that alone is all that is necessary, because that mood brings about the mercy of the Lord.
और ये इस प्रकार का जो मनोभाव है बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है, क्योंकि ये जो है गुरु की कृपा को आकर्षित करता है.
And sometimes devotees think, well, I'm washing the pots or cleaning the floor, and everybody else is out there preaching or doing Harinam. Boy, my service is not so important.
कभी कभी भक्त सोचते हैं कि मैं केवल पोछा लगा रहा हूँ या बर्तन धो रहा हूँ और बाकी भक्त जो है कोई प्रचार कर रहे हैं, कोई संकीर्तन कर रहे हैं, तो शायद मेरी सेवा उतनी महत्वपूर्ण नहीं है.
Prabhupada says that it's not so much the service, it's the attitude the service is offered.
प्रभुपाद जी ने बोला कि ये सेवा नहीं है, सेवा से ज्यादा महत्वपूर्ण है सेवा का भाव.
He went on to say also that there's no such thing as menial service. We use that word menial like it's kind of lesser, picking flowers off the floor after the garland, it starts to shed the flower petals. Menial service, right?
तो बोले इस प्रकार से वास्तव में menial service, तुच्छ सेवा को इस प्रकार ये तुच्छ सेवा नहीं है कि कोई लोग समझते हैं कि माला बनाना, फूलों का छोटी सेवा, बर्तन करना, पोछा, ये सब छोटी सेवा है.
He said you cannot categorize service into different levels. Service is service.
तो उन्होंने बताया कि सेवा को अलग श्रेणियों में नहीं बांट सकते. सेवा तो सेवा ही है.
The devotee may be washing the pots and thinking, boy, I'm so fallen. I can't do anything, but still I'm grateful for having this opportunity to serve. And then the other devotee is out there doing nice preaching and he's thinking, boy, I'm doing the best service. Just look at me.
ऐसा भी हो सकता है कोई भक्त हैं, वो भगवान के बर्तन धोने की सेवा कर रहे हैं और सोच रहे हैं कि मैं पतित हूँ, योग्य नहीं हूँ, लेकिन भगवान का धन्यवाद है कि मुझे ये सेवा प्राप्त हुई. और दूसरी ओर कोई भक्त हैं, वो बड़ा प्रचार कर रहे हैं, लेकिन उनको अहंकार हो रहा है कि देखिए मैं विशेष सेवा कर रहा हूँ.
I'm writing books.
या कोई पुस्तक लेखन कर रहे हैं.
Therefore I'm advanced.
इसका मतलब मैं उन्नत भक्त हूँ.
So all of these, what we say, inordinate consciousness actually doesn't please the Supreme Lord. One should just be satisfied with service and never think their service is actually offerable. But still we offer it because that is our duty.
तो इस प्रकार का मनोभाव भगवान को प्रसन्न नहीं करता, जबकि वो चेतना है जो भगवान को प्रसन्न करती है, जो कि हमारा कर्तव्य है सेवा.
Prabhupada tells the story about consciousness, how consciousness works.
प्रभुपाद जी ने चेतना कैसे कार्य करती है उस पर से एक कहानी बताई.
There were two young men. They were on their way to visit the prostitute.
और एक व्यक्ति थे जो कि एक वेश्या के पास जाते हैं.
And while they were walking, they came past the Harinam Sankirtan party.
और जब वो जा रहे होते हैं तो वहाँ पे उनको हरिनाम संकीर्तन से गुजरते हैं.
And one boy turned to his friend. He said, "Oh, wow, there's the devotees Harinam saying, let's go."
और उनमें से एक ने बोला कि देखिए हरिनाम हो रहा है, चलो चलते हैं.
The boy said, "Nah, I'm going to the prostitute. You can go."
और दूसरे ने बोला कि नहीं, मैं तो वेश्या के पास जा रहा हूँ, तुम ही जाओ।
So that one boy went to the kirtan, and the other boy went to the prostitute.
तो एक जो है वो कीर्तन में चले गए और दूसरे व्यक्ति जो है वो वेश्या के पास गए।
So when the boy got to the prostitute, he was thinking, "My God, boy, I'm so degraded. My friend, he's so intelligent. He's using his time for spiritual life. He's having a wonderful time with the devotees. Here I am, and I think I'm enjoying, but I'm actually suffering."
तो जो व्यक्ति जो है वेश्या के पास गए थे वो सोच रहे थे कि अरे मैं कितना पतित हूँ, मेरा मित्र कितना बुद्धिमान है, वो हरिनाम कर रहा है, कृपा प्राप्त कर रहा है और मैं यहाँ पर है अपनी चेतना गिरने के कारण से गलत कार्य में लगा हूँ।
And the other boy who's at the kirtan, he's thinking, "Boy, you know, I could have went to the prostitute with my friend. He's probably having a good time. This kirtan's not so good anyway."
और जो कीर्तन में थे वो सोच रहे थे कि जो मेरा मित्र है वो जो वेश्या के पास गया है वो वहां पर आनंद कर रहा होगा और ये कीर्तन कुछ विशेष नहीं है।
And Prabhupada said, "Well, who's better off?"
प्रभुपाद ने पूछा उन दोनों में बेहतर कौन है?
The boy who was thinking, you know, I'm so fallen, he's actually wanting to be with the devotees, and the one who is with the devotees doesn't want. So who is more better? Who is actually in better consciousness?
तो जो व्यक्ति जो वेश्या के पास थे अपने को पतित समझ रहे थे वो भक्तों के साथ रहना चाहते थे और जो भक्तों के संकीर्तन में थे वो वहां पर लग रहा था कि उनको ठीक नहीं लग रहा था। तो देख सकते हैं कि दोनों में से किसकी चेतना बेहतर है।
The example is it's consciousness that counts.
तो ये महत्वपूर्ण होता है कि किस प्रकार की चेतना है।
Whatever service we are doing, we should offer it with the desire to please the Lord, please the devotees, and somehow or other push on Krishna consciousness. Even if you're doing so-called menial service or small, everything is part of the Sankirtan movement because it's all needed in order to push on Krishna consciousness.
तो चेतना महत्वपूर्ण है और जो भी हम सेवा करते हैं वो गुरु और भक्तों वैष्णव की प्रसन्नता के लिए करना चाहिए, साथ साथ हमें कृष्ण भावनामृत आंदोलन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए करना चाहिए। बाह्य रूप से उसको हम तुच्छ सेवा के रूप में बोल सकते हैं, लेकिन जो सारी सेवा का उद्देश्य कृष्ण भावनामृत आंदोलन को आगे बढ़ाना होना चाहिए।
So Brahma's feeling unhappy because he offended Krishna. Now he's begging for forgiveness. And you'll see this whole chapter, which is a very long chapter, constant prayers of Brahma. He's just pouring his heart out, glorifying the Lord, glorifying the Lord's devotees, the residents of Vrindavan, and putting himself in such a situation where he feels like he's worthless.
तो ये जो बहुत बड़ा ये अध्याय है और इसमें ब्रह्मा जी प्रार्थना कर रहे हैं, अपने आप को क्षमा याचना कर रहे हैं इस प्रकार से।
So that's a mood of a Vaishnava.
वैष्णव का मनोभाव होता है।
What is that mood? The mood is to see Krishna and everything in Krishna, and by the grace of the Lord and by the grace of the devotees, somehow or other, I have got the opportunity to perform devotional service.
तो हर जगह हर वस्तु में भगवान को देखना और भगवान को सर्वत्र देखना और इस कार्य चेतना की भगवान की वैष्णव कृपा से मैं जो है भक्तिमय सेवा कर पा रहा हूँ।
Devotional service is a privilege.
तो सेवा प्राप्त करना ही विशेष कृपा है।
It's not like you have a right. You do have a right in the sense that that's your nature, but to get the opportunity, that comes by special mercy.
और ऐसा नहीं कि हमें कुछ विशेष अधिकार है, ये गुरु की कृपा से प्राप्त होता है।
And that mercy comes from Krishna through the spiritual master.
और जो गुरु की कृपा से जो कृष्ण की कृपा प्राप्त होती है।
So one should always think, if I can get some service, I'm fortunate.
तो हमें हमेशा सोचना चाहिए कि यदि हमें कोई सेवा प्राप्त हो रही है तो मैं बहुत सौभाग्यशाली हूँ।
King Prataparudra, during the Rath Yatra ceremony, he was the king of Puri. He was a powerful king. By his military strength, the Pathan armies, the Muslim soldiers, could not enter into his kingdom.
तो महाराज प्रताप रुद्र जो कि जगन्नाथ रथ यात्रा के दौरान सेवा करते हैं, वो बहुत ही शक्तिशाली राजा थे। सैन्य शक्ति के कारण से जो पठान जो मुस्लिम हैं वो कभी भी पुरी में प्रवेश नहीं कर पाए।
And he was a devotee also.
और वो भगवान के भक्त भी थे।
He was a, we don't, doesn't mention he was a pure devotee, but he was deep in his devotion to the Lord.
हम ये कल्पना नहीं कर सकते कि वो मतलब शुद्ध भक्त थे, लेकिन वो उनकी चेतना बहुत ही उन्नत थी।
But when it came to serving the Lord, he put aside all of that and picked up a broom and started to sweep the cart in front of Lord Jagannath.
और जब भगवान की सेवा की बात आई तो उन्होंने सब कुछ एक तरफ रखते हुए झाड़ू उठा के जगन्नाथ के सामने झाड़ू लगाना चालू किया।
He had such a powerful position.
और उनकी जो है बहुत शक्तिशाली स्थिति थी उनकी।
But for him it didn't mean anything. He just wanted us to do a service that would be pleasing.
और उनको और कुछ नहीं चाहिए था, उनको बस ऐसी सेवा चाहिए थी कि जो कि भगवान को प्रसन्नता दे।
And when Lord Chaitanya recognized and saw that, he gave him his mercy right there, simply by acknowledging that service.
और जब चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने इस बात को देखा तो उनकी सेवा को स्वीकार करते हुए उन्हें अपनी कृपा प्रदान की।
Prabhupada was in, this is a little bit of a different story, but Prabhupada was in, I believe he was in Delhi.
एक दूसरी कथा है, प्रभुपाद जी एक समय दिल्ली में थे।
And Prabhupada had just given a talk. Many important people, dignitaries from the local area had come to hear Prabhupada.
उस क्षेत्र के विशेष लोगों के लिए प्रभुपाद जी ने एक विशेष कक्षा दी।
And at the end, one of the dignitaries, he came to Prabhupada, he fell flat underwards, right at Prabhupada's feet, practically in tears, just appreciating Srila Prabhupada's.
और उन विशेष व्यक्तियों में से एक व्यक्ति आए और प्रभुपाद जी को साक्षात दंडवत प्रणाम करते हुए अश्रु भाव से बोले।
Such a highly positioned person in the material world, he became like a little humble child.
और बहुत ही जगत में इतने समृद्ध व्यक्ति हैं, एक छोटे बच्चे की तरह विनम्र हो गए वो।
The devotees, Prabhupada's disciples, who were quite new at the time, were amazed to see that.
और जो कि प्रभुपाद जी के शिष्य जो कि इस समय काफी नए थे, वो इस सब को देख के हुए बहुत आश्चर्यचकित हो गए।
And they said to Prabhupada after, "What is it about you that causes people to be like that?"
उन्होंने प्रभुपाद को पूछा कि आपके अंदर ऐसा क्या विशेष है कि लोग आपके लिए इस प्रकार से करते हैं।
And Prabhupada said, "I have no lust."
हाँ, प्रभुपाद ने बोला कि मेरे अंदर कोई काम भाव नहीं है।
And then he walked away.
और चले गए।
So the devotees were thinking, "Oh my God, we're so lusty."
और उन्होंने भक्त हैं वो बहुत आश्चर्यचकित हो गए।
Prabhupada has no lust.
प्रभुपाद के अंदर कोई काम भाव नहीं है।
Prabhupada got in his car. They were on their way back to where Prabhupada was staying.
प्रभुपाद कार से चले गए, फिर बाद में प्रभुपाद से मिलते हैं।
The devotees who were riding with Prabhupada were also very quiet. They were thinking, "Oh, Prabhupada has no lust. We're so lusty."
और जो भक्त जो हैं कार चला रहे थे वो भी सोच रहे थे प्रभुपाद के अंदर कोई काम भाव नहीं है और मैं तो बहुत कामी हूँ।
And so Prabhupada could understand they were thinking like that. So
और प्रभुपाद इस प्रकार से समझ पा रहे थे उन लोगों के मनोभाव को।
So when Prabhupada got out to his place, he got out of the car, he turned around, he looked at the devotees, he said, "It's not because I have no lust, I have no time."
प्रभुपाद ने फिर उनको मनोभाव को समझते हुए जब उतरे तो बोला कि ऐसा नहीं है, ये कारण नहीं है कि मेरे अंदर काम नहीं है, लेकिन मेरे पास समय नहीं है।
The point he was making, don't give any time to Maya. That's all. Use all your time for Krishna.
तो वास्तव में इससे बताना चाहते थे कि जो अपना जो समय है वो माया की के लिए ना देके कृष्ण की सेवा में देना चाहिए।
And that'll free you from many of the bad, not bad qualities, but those qualities that will block our spiritual progress.
और जब आप इस प्रकार से भगवान की सेवा में व्यस्त रहेंगे तो हम इस प्रकार की बहुत सारे गलत चीजों से बच जाएंगे जो कि भगवान की सेवा में अवरोध पैदा करते हैं।
So if we're always in the mood of service, then Maya can't touch you.
तो जब हम सेवा के मनोभाव में रहते हैं तो माया हमको स्पर्श नहीं कर पाती।
And the devotee is always looking for service,
और जो
always thinking how to serve.
और भक्त हमेशा सेवा देखते रहते हैं, हमेशा सोचते हैं कि कैसे सेवा करनी
And
चाहिए।
if they're not thinking, if they're not be able to do any practical service, they're thinking about Krishna. They're chanting the holy name. They're
तो-
making plans for future service.
तो जब यदि वास्तव में सेवाएं नहीं कर पाते प्रैक्टिकल रूप में, तो वो हमेशा सोचते रहते हैं कि कैसे भगवान की सेवा की जाए.
And that way the tendency to commit offenses will become very much reduced with that attitude.
और इस प्रकार से जो सेवा में के दौरान अपराध करने की प्रवृत्ति है वो कम हो जाती है.
Okay, so we're right at almost 9 o'clock. Any questions, comments? Yes, Mataji?
किसी का कोई प्रश्न है?
हरे कृष्णा महाराज जी, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. आपने बहुत अच्छी शिक्षा दी. मेरे 2 प्रश्न हैं. एक तो सबसे पहले महाराज जी ने कहा था कि भगवान सभी के लिए समभाव रहते हैं, बाहरी रूप से हमको लगता है पक्षपात करते. तो एक ही समय चाहे भक्त हो व्यक्ति रो एक जैसी डिजायर करता है भगवान से, एक की डिजायर फुल होती है और एक की नहीं होती है. तो हमको किस दृष्टि से देखना चाहिए इसको?
Praying to the Lord, so one's desire gets fulfilling and other is not fulfilling. So then how we can understand Krishna is equal?
Yayatam mam prapadyante tam stadaiva pravajami aham. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, as you approach me, I respond accordingly.
कृष्ण ने बोला है भगवद गीता में कि आप जिस प्रकार से आप जिस प्रकार से मेरे पास आएंगे, जिस मनोभाव से, उसी मनोभाव से आपको उसके बदले में भगवान देंगे.
So many people might pray and approach Krishna, but Krishna knows their heart. He knows their reason for prayer. He knows everything. So he's going to respond according to how he feels that will be best for the person. Sometimes he neglects them. Sometimes he makes them wait. Sometimes he responds. He does according to the person.
व्यक्ति पर निर्भर करता है उसके कार्य के परिणाम के अनुसार. कभी-कभी भगवान उसको स्वीकार करते हैं, कभी-कभी उसको प्रतीक्षा करने के लिए बोलते हैं, कभी उसको नेग्लेक्ट भी करते हैं.
Krishna knows your heart and he knows why you're approaching.
और भगवान हमारे हृदय को समझते हैं कि हम क्यों उनके पास जा रहे हैं.
There's a story in this regard.
इसमें एक कथा भी आती है.
One of the Goswamis, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, he was the son of Kashi Mishra, and he was staying in, where was that place? Can't remember that place. But he had to travel to get to Jagannath Puri, and he wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, so he began his travel. On his way, he met this really nice Ram Bhakta. Now this Ram Bhakta became very attracted to Raghunath Bhakta Goswami, and he said, I would like to travel with you and become your servant. Please allow me. Now this Ram Bhakta was chanting Ram's name always. He was constantly chanting Ram's name. So Raghunath Bhatta thought, oh, he's such a nice devotee. He's very serious devotee of Ram. So he said, fine, we can travel together. We'll go to Jagannath Puri and see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So they both arrived, they came, and Mahaprabhu greeted both of them. And Mahaprabhu didn't look at the Ram Bhakta. He didn't even act like he was there. He just simply greeted Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. But this Ram Bhakta was thinking, wow, the Lord's not even looking at me. And the Lord turned to him and said, stop trying to become Ram.
तो फिर चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने बोला कि अपने आप को राम बनने से रोको, राम बनने की चेष्टा मत करो.
The Lord could understand. He was chanting Ram's name so he could become Ram.
तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु उसके मनोभाव को समझ गए और राम का नाम ले रहा था लेकिन राम बनना चाह रहा था.
So what you see from the outside may not always be what is inside.
तो बाहर रूप से हम जो देखते हैं वो जरूर नहीं है कि अंदर भी वैसा ही हो.
Because what's inside is what counts.
जो कि वास्तव में अंतर में होता है उसको भगवान गिनते हैं.
So Krishna will respond according to how best it is for that devotee to make advancement, to learn something. It'll be for the benefit of the devotee, although he responds to people in different ways.
तो भगवान हमेशा देखते हैं कि उस भक्त के लिए क्या अच्छा है, उन्नति भक्ति में प्रगति करने के लिए, तो उसके अनुसार भगवान उससे कार्य करते हैं.
Can never figure out the mind of the Lord.
हम भगवान के मन को नहीं समझ सकते.
Don't try.
और प्रयास भी नहीं करना चाहिए.
We can just approach the Lord and pray for His mercy. That's all.
हमें केवल भगवान के पास उनकी कृपा प्राप्त करने के लिए प्रार्थना के लिए जाना चाहिए.
There's another nice story, but maybe it's too late. Yeah, too late. Tell it. This is a real cute story. You like stories, huh?
हरि बोल.
This shows the nature of the Lord.
और ये भगवान की प्रकृति को स्वभाव को बताते हैं.
So there was one deity of the Supreme Lord. I think he was Narayan or Vishnu in the temple.
एक मंदिर में भगवान विष्णु नारायण की प्रतिमा विग्रह थे.
And every day people were coming.
और हर दिन जो है भक्त लोग आते थे.
And Ashibad,
आशीर्वाद लेने के लिए.
praying for my dear Lord, Dehi, 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 Dehi. Give me this, give me that.
और हर दिन भगवान से कुछ न कुछ सब भक्त लोग मांगने के लिए आते थे, मुझे ये दीजिए वो दीजिए.
So there was one temple. He was a temple sweeper, and every day he's seeing people come.
तो एक दिन जो है जो एक झाड़ू पोछा करने वाले भक्त थे, वो हर दिन मंदिर में सफाई करते थे.
He was thinking, wow, what is the Lord doing? What is he saying to all of these different people?
और उन्होंने सोचा कि भगवान क्या कर रहे हैं और सब लोगों को क्या बोल रहे हैं, अलग अलग लोगों के लिए.
He became really curious.
और वो उनके अंदर इस प्रकार की जिज्ञासा जागृत हुई.
And he couldn't get out of his mind. What is the Lord saying to all of these people when they asked all of these things?
और उनके मन में ये चलने लगा कि भगवान से जब लोग मांगते हैं तो भगवान क्या करते हैं, क्या बोलते हैं.
So the Lord appeared to him that night in a dream.
और उस रात्रि भगवान उसके स्वप्न में आते हैं.
He said, "You want to be me?"
और बोले कि आप मेरी तरह बनना चाहते हैं.
Okay, you can be me for one day.
और आप मेरी जगह भगवान बन सकते हैं एक दिन के लिए.
And when people come,
और जब व्यक्ति आएंगे,
you simply listen to what they say.
जब लोग आएंगे तो आपको केवल सुनना है वो क्या बोलते हैं.
And that's all.
बस पर्याप्त है.
So, and he said, "Don't say anything.
और भगवान ने उसको चेतावनी दी कि कुछ बोलना नहीं है आपको.
Just listen to their prayers."
बस आपको लोगों को सुनना है.
So one very rich man came.
एक बहुत अमीर व्यक्ति आते हैं.
He came, offered his respect. He was proud because he was rich. Took out a donation, put it on the Lord's thing, in the hundi. Now this person, the sweeper, was the Lord now.
और अभी जो व्यक्ति जो स्वीपर जो सफाई कर्मी थे वो भगवान थे. और एक बहुत अमीर व्यक्ति आता है और अहंकारवश कुछ जो है कुछ दक्षिणा भगवान के लिए देते हैं.
And he prayed to the Lord, "I want to make more money."
और भगवान से प्रार्थना करते हैं कि मैं और धन कमाना चाहता हूँ.
But when he left, he dropped his purse with all the money in it. It fell on the ground.
और लेकिन जब वो जा रहे थे तो उनका जो पर्स है जिसमें बहुत सारा पैसा था वो जमीन पर गिर जाता है.
And so this sweeper, now the Lord, he was thinking, I can't say anything, so he was quiet.
तो जो भगवान के रूप में जो सफाई कर्मी थे वो कुछ बोल नहीं पा रहे थे तो बस चुपचाप देखते रहे.
And then next comes one sailor, some seaman.
तो वहां पर एक नाविक भी वहां पर उस समय आते हैं.
And he said, "My dear Lord, I'm going out to the ocean tomorrow. Please protect me."
और बोले कि भगवान मैं कल समुद्र में जा रहा हूं, कृपया मेरी रक्षा करें.
And I don't have, my family needs some money. I won't be able to take care of them. Please, can you give me some money so I can take care of my family?
और भगवान मेरे पास धन
He's
नहीं है,
asking for money, right?
परिवार.
So he's not saying anything. And then he looks down on the ground, he sees the wallet, and he picks it up. He said, "Oh, thank you, Lord. You gave me some money right away, you know."
तो उसको पैसा चाहिए था और वो दिखता है कि वहां पर जमीन पे जो है पर्स रहता है, तो वो प्रसन्न हो जाता है. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद भगवान, आपने मेरी प्रार्थना सुनी.
And he's thinking, "Oh, my dear Lord, thank you very much."
और भगवान के लिए धन्यवाद करता है.
And then the rich man comes back looking for his wallet.
और जो अमीर व्यक्ति है अपना पर्स खोजते हुए वापस आ जाते हैं.
And he sees the sailor's got his wallet.
और देखा कि ये जो नाविक है उसके पास ये पर्स
He
है.
said, "You stole my wallet.
और बोला कि तुमने मेरा पर्स चुराया है,
You're a criminal. You're a thief.
आप अपराधी हो, आप चोर हो,
You should be punished."
आपको दंड मिलना चाहिए.
Now, therefore, you should go to jail.
इसलिए आपको जेल में जाना पड़ेगा.
And the police come.
और
Calls
पुलिस आ
the
जाती है
police. Take him to jail.
और उसको जेल ले जाती है.
So about to take the sailor away for stealing the rich man's wallet.
और वो अमीर व्यक्ति का पैसा चुराने के लिए, पर्स चुराने के लिए
So
जेल ले.
now this person who's playing the Lord, he can't keep quiet.
और जो व्यक्ति जो भगवान का जगह थे वो अपने आप को चुप नहीं रख पाए
And he speaks.
और बोल पड़े.
And he says, "No, he didn't steal it. This man dropped it. That's all."
बोला कि ये उन्होंने चुराया नहीं है, इस व्यक्ति ने गिरा दिया था.
God speaking.
और लोग उसमें सोचा अरे भगवान बोल रहे हैं.
Oh. And so the police, they offer their obeisances. The rich man apologizes. The sailor, he's also confused.
और जो है पुलिस ने प्रणाम किया और जो अमीर व्यक्ति है वो भी क्षमा मांगने लग गया और जो नाविक है वो भी कंफ्यूज था.
God spoke.
अरे भगवान ने बोला
He solved the whole problem.
और उन्होंने समस्या का समाधान कर दिया.
So that night the Lord appeared to him in a dream. He said, "I told you not to say anything."
भगवान ने उसको बोला कि मैंने आपको बोला था ना कि कुछ बोलना नहीं है.
I caused that rich man to lose his wallet because he was so proud of his money and proud of everything. So I made him drop his wallet.
तो जो अमीर व्यक्ति था वो बहुत उसको अभिमान था, इसीलिए मैंने उसका पर्स जो है गिरवा दिया.
And I arranged for that sailor to find it. And so when the rich man would come back, he would call the police and that sailor would go to jail because that sailor was going to go on the sea the next day and he was destined to die. So I wanted to put him in jail so he wouldn't die.
तो जो नाविक है वो उसको मैं जेल में डालना चाह रहा था क्योंकि वो अगले दिन जाने वाला है, यहाँ पे उसकी मृत्यु हो सकती है, इसलिए मैं उसको जेल में भिजवाना चाह रहा था.
So whenever the Lord does, is always the ultimate is for the benefit of everyone.
तो जो कुछ भगवान करते हैं वो हमेशा सबके भले के लिए करते हैं.
Lord, I want to make a lot of money and I'll, if you give me $1 million, I'll give you half of it.
कई लोग सोचते हैं कि भगवान में बहुत पैसा हो जाएगा, मेरे पास मेरे को $10 लाख देंगे तो मैं आपको आधा दे दूंगा.
The Lord, so people, and one man, he was praying like that. I'll give you half of it, and then he made $500,000, not $1 million. And when his friend said you're supposed to give half to the Lord, he just said, "Well, the Lord took his half already." So.
तो एक प्रकार के इस प्रकार के व्यक्ति ने ऐसा कमिटमेंट किया था और जब प्राप्त हो गए तो उनके मित्र ने उसको देने के लिए बोला तो बोला भगवान को तो पहले से ही प्राप्त हो गया है.
The point is, don't approach the Lord for anything material. That's the point.
तो कहने का मतलब है कि किसी भी भौतिक चीज की प्राप्ति के लिए, वस्तु की प्राप्ति के लिए भगवान के पास नहीं जाना चाहिए.
We're happy just to be able to serve, and not only being happy, that's our ultimate benefit, is the opportunity for devotional service.
और हमें सेवा प्राप्त करके ही प्रसन्न होना चाहिए और केवल प्रसन्नता की बात नहीं है, ये भक्ति करने का एक अवसर प्राप्त है हमारे लिए, सेवा करने का.
Okay. Is that all right, Maharaj? You can tell me how bad that story was. It's a good point because the Lord, we can't understand how the Lord reciprocates.
हम ये समझ नहीं सकते कि भगवान किस प्रकार से आदान प्रदान करते हैं.
Why does he give one person a lot of distress who's a nice person and gives another person who's not so nice so many good opportunities?
कभी कभी बहुत अच्छे व्यक्ति को थोड़ा परेशानी आती है और कभी जो व्यक्ति उतना अच्छा नहीं होता है लेकिन उसके लिए सब कुछ मिलता है.
The Lord, he knows what's best because he can see past, present, and future, and he knows the hearts of all living entities.
तो जो भगवान जो हैं वो इस प्रकार से करते हैं क्योंकि भगवान भूत भविष्य वर्तमान सब कुछ जानते हैं और जो सबसे अच्छा होता है वो देते हैं.
One more question?
Only one question is not Hare Krishna. I actually do have very judgmental kind of personality,
Can-
especially for devotees.
Can you speak in Hindi? That,
Actually मेरी personality काफी ज़्यादा judgmental है. तो फिर उससे क्या होता है मैं devotees को काफी जल्दी judge कर लेती हूँ. And how can I get rid of it? It's not like that I'm not trying. I am trying, but still it happens consciously or subconsciously. Subconsciously it does happen.
Like she is having judgmental tendency, so how we can overcome this tendency?
it's easy. Just judge yourself. You don't have to give rid of your judgmental attitude. Just take a look at yourself and then judge yourself, and then you can improve.
तो माता जी का प्रश्न था कि मुझे विशेष तौर से भक्तों में और व्यक्तियों में दोष देखने की प्रवृत्ति है. तो महाराज बता रहे हैं कि विशेष तौर से हमें अपने आप को देखने का प्रयास करना चाहिए.
Turn
अपने
it
दोष.
when we turn that judgmental attitude towards ourselves, then we can actually improve our own devotional life, our own character. We might say, well, I would like to, we see other things, but we might say, why should I judge others? Because what is my qualification for judging others? How do I see? Am I their spiritual master? Am I their parent? Am I their teacher? These are the people who give guidance, instructions, corrections to their followers. If we're not in that position, what is the purpose of judging others? And when you judge others, you can't see the whole picture anyway. You're only seeing a small part of the whole thing. That's why in the Bhagavatam it says one should not criticize another, nor should one praise another. Neither one is allowed because praise and criticism always fall short of what is the actual reality. But then the following verse says you can praise. Because
as a unified devotee, you expect them to behave in such a proper manner. The standard you have set in your mind, it's like that.
if you want to change others, change your. If you want to change others, change yourself. When you change yourself, you'll see others change also. Yeah, if it's your duty to make some correction, then that's one thing. But if it's not your duty, then, and if you feel so concerned that some senior person is not acting or behaving in the right way, then you may report that your feelings to his superior, and you can speak like that and let them make the change or the difference. If you really want, you really feel you have to do something, and you can speak to his superior. But if you approach the person, you may commit offenses also. You will. So, Adoshadarshi. Lord Chaitanya said, I give my full mercy to a devotee who does two things. Who becomes enthusiastic to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra and does not find fault with others. Don't even find fault with the fault finders.
चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने बोला है कि मैं उन लोगों को विशेष कृपा प्रदान करता हूं जो कि उत्साहपूर्वक भगवान के नाम के जप करते हैं और जो दूसरों के अंदर दोष नहीं देखते, यहाँ तक कि जो दूसरों में दोष देखते हैं उनके अंदर भी दोष नहीं देखते.
Maharaj, you want to add something? Okay, thank you. You'll be more happy if you don't worry about what everybody else is doing. If it's your duty, then that's one thing. But if it's not, then just offer your obeisances. And as I said, what you see may not be exactly what it is. We see something, and we, based on our limited understanding of the situation, we make some conclusion. And that's dangerous. Try to see the good in everyone. There's many stories, but it's already quite late, so maybe at another time we can speak. This is a very important subject matter because it's the basis of our environmental quality. And when the devotees see each other as being more advanced than they are, to see another devotee's good qualities, if everyone sees like that, Krishna becomes so pleased that everything works out so nicely. There's no effort for anything. Krishna makes everything happen so wonderfully. He gives his mercy very easily also. But when we find fault or are looking for fault, then the mind becomes like disturbed. And if you have a disturbed mind, it's hard to chant Hare Krishna. Yes. Okay, maybe we can. Oh, okay. A question here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. Maharaj, you have said that whatever decision we take, it depends on our mind. Actually, what is our likes and dislikes, in respect to that we take any decision. So it is not right. So I want to ask you, in what respect the decision should be taken?
Chatur Shasus. Try to see things through the eyes of the spiritual master, the eyes of the Shastras, the eyes of Krishna. The devotee doesn't use his own judgment, but he takes the understanding and the knowledge he receives from the spiritual teachers, and then from there he can understand. Of course, we also have to act, but we should get support and understanding by getting higher knowledge. Higher knowledge comes from Guru, from Shastra. And then you can make your conclusion based on the higher knowledge you receive and how you perceive that higher knowledge in relationship to the situation that is happening. The mind is defective. The eyes are limited. But Shastra is pure. Guru is given knowledge based on his pure understanding. Is that all right? Okay, thank you. Hare Krishna.
चंद्रमौली स्वामी गुरु महाराज की, शील प्रभुपाद की.
Gaur Premanande.